Okay, before I lock this in, Prestige is in a pretty good spot. Do I want to go ahead and do this? This is such a Prestige Ho move, but okay, if not that. Yeah, I should probably take the Thor relic, or the Thor relic up finally. And that'll mean I can't take the Venom the Duck one up, and that's okay. Hey, Arsham, I'm doing okay. It's kind of a long day, so I'm tired to be honest, but doing all right. Looking forward to something simple. Oh yeah, I do have just a few actual gems. How many of those do I have? I think they're still under champion items, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Okay, two. That's fine. Now I do have some of these as well, which I should probably use. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping in. Okay, so I have two 1 to 2 gems. What do I want to prioritize? And I can awaken something if I have a relic that I really like. Do I have any? Okay, I have 65 of those too. So yeah, we can definitely get our prestige up a little higher. Energy pen on Dark Phoenix is pretty good. The double crit relics, the ones on Hitmonkey and Sam, are also pretty good. Oh, and then I just have these two relics here sitting that I guess I haven't leveled. Because, yeah, wait, what do I have on Absorbing Man now? Oh, probably the 5-star version of this? Yeah, that must be it. It is maxed, though. Hey, Punjabi. Energy penetration when it's on all the time does affect dots, yes. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's interesting because this is a really good relic that should be on someone. Just not sure who. Maybe Chavez. What's on her? Sorry, I know this part isn't particularly interesting. Hmm. It'd be good on Shathra. Thor has an unleveled one. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these. This just feels like a good one to have. I appreciate that, Punjabi. I do need to schedule like an actual relic stream. We'll see if I have time in July for that. Provided I can hear over my dehumidifier. Hi, Cat. How's it going? Okay. That one is settled. And then what was the other? I also have this Morbius that I'm not currently using that I could put somewhere. Where are my science relics? All right, so I have one Morbius relic on Quicksilver. That's good. And I have two more I'm not using. Okay, I feel like one of these should probably be on cap. Or on spot, I mean. Yeah, let's move that over. Or maybe on Luke, we could move the cap one to spot. I mean, this is a really good one too. That's a lot of block proficiency. Hmm. Trying not to get too bogged down here. Because what other 7-star relics could I take up? The Bong one is really good. I should just do that. Is this one I'm actively using right now? Although this one, I might be able to use catalysts for. Yeah, okay. Hey, Jonathan. Okay, and then I can still take up another one. This Karnak one feels like it makes sense to go ahead and awaken. Okay, and it'll have jumped all the way up here. Then we'll do this. If I'm using my precious tier 2 celestial alloy, some of which I literally paid for, I'm going to be thinking about it a little bit. Okay. Alright, prestige is a little bit higher now. Leaving that behind. Do I want to go ahead and rank 5 somebody from this list? Null and Spot are big prestige. Long is kind of exciting. I don't think I'm going to min-max that much. I'll leave that. Alright, let's go ahead and start Q. Welcome, Asphyxia. Alright, Mystic. Actually, I haven't played much with Chavez yet. Spiral doesn't really... Yes, that's fine. Spiral doesn't really regen. Although it's also just power control, isn't it? So that would have been fine. Anyway. Side note, we really need to fix this particular Mystic node so that it's power steal and not power drain. Someday. Glitter boots. Excellent. We're not going to talk about anything unannounced, Asphyxia. Whoops. Is it really only one region? Ah. Yeah, no. I completely forgot about the power control aspect. And actually, I think I'm just going to redo this one. I was hoping Chavez would get 3 Furies per special too, and that's not fun. We'll do this. Champ Discovery. In a sense, like I already know who I like to play. How do I broaden my horizon for champs that don't get the spotlight? That is a good question, Jack. Um, and I think you're correct that like just forcing yourself to try things in towers is one of them. Some people like to do that in EQ. I'm not sure it really helps because it has to be someone who kind of fits the nodes. If they're underleveled enough, then they just die very quickly. Yeah, I don't know. The answer I used to give was Arena. And I think Arena is both like too boring and also a little bit harder in an unfun way these days. So I'm not really sure that's the answer. I don't know. I honestly don't know that I have a good answer for this because I don't really have this problem, right? Because of my job, I am forced to a certain extent, forced to play basically every character that exists for like minimum 45 minutes or so. Um, so it's been a long time since I've had to really think about discovery the same way. Yeah, no, I get the problem for sure. Yeah, I really wish I had a better answer for you right now. Because the answer is not tier lists, right? Like, especially when you're looking at fun, but like fun is so personal. I think tier lists are often wrong. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, you can try Realm of Legends, but like Realm of Legends sucks. You have horribly overinflated challenge rating. You have no idea what block damage is actually doing. Your crits are far away from you. Like, the AI is terrible. It's not really a good testing ground, so like, I don't even know where I can tell you to go test them. I don't think I have a good answer for you right now, and that really bothers me. But I'm gonna think about this. For now, I think just when you have those open rooms in towers, try to make sure you're doing something with that, right? Hey, Hoosier. How's it going, dude? Yeah. If you're in a spot where Alliance War allows you that kind of flexibility, I think Cat's answer is a good one. But realistically, I feel like the question you're asking is why there does need to be a better testing ground for non-CCP members. Hey, work, how's it going? Yeah, off-season war is a good shout. I can't remember if I don't think I actually said this out loud, but for now, like when you have a tower, um, that is only asking for like 7 stars in general, right? That doesn't care about you ranking someone up. I think take that as an opportunity to don't try and like learn everybody you have at rank 1, but kind of like Kat said, go off of vibes, read through their info page once, and just give them a shot. Especially once we get through these first 3 weeks and tower keys are less precious. I think that is exactly where you should be just trying things. Oh, I know Asphyxia. That's definitely one of the most annoying things about off-season war. Nice work. Ouch. Snap lights. So I've talked about this before, Aeroshem. As far as just like enabling it on the live server, yes, it would technically be possible. And for engaged players like those that tend to watch my streams, it'd be totally fine, right? Like, yay, testing ground. For new players who aren't really hooked in, it'd be deeply weird for us to just have a section of the game that had like no narrative wrapper, no dialogue, no rewards, no instructions, no guidance. It's probably not translated into anything other than English at the moment. For us to just throw that in and have these giant, difficult defenders, because some of those health pools are huge, again, with no guidance, and just be like, it's a testing ground with nothing else, I think would probably not be good. So, like, I am very strongly in favor of something broadly, or of something like that, available to the typical summoner. But I think it needs a little bit more treatment. Um, and that means it's the kind of thing that we're going to need a few different people from different teams to work on, and that unfortunately makes it harder to coordinate and release. Hi, Green. Not sure where you're going with that, but welcome. I too know of this Mo of Joe. Okay, Adam. But have become fast friends. Cocoon with one eye open is excellent. Yeah, exactly, Cat. Exactly like with solo raids. Isn't the parry dex tutorial gone, Asphyxia? Ouch. It has been for a while, dude. Did you follow, like, anything I just said, Hoosier? With respect. I think I covered all of that. Maybe you're on a delay, to be fair. Abyss is okay. There's such specific fights, though. I really don't like Abyss for testing things. Like, alright, you have a choice between Thing, one of, like, the most warping defenders in the game from a perspective of testing damage. A fight that constantly drains your power, or... who's the other one? Is it Darkhawk and Iron Man? In which case it's 2 power drainers? Or power stealers? Yeah, and the damage cap, which is getting more and more relevant by the day. Because 7 stars are getting big. Yeah. That's what I thought would work. That is not a good testing ground. Oh, there's all kinds of things that go crazy in EQ. Like I don't know. I've said this before. I'm here to read the dialogue and chat with y'all. Like, this is barely even a quest anymore for me. It is so undertuned for my account. Yeah, but in case you missed it, Hoosier, the core of the problem is that, like, yes, the content exists. It would be pretty simple to just enable it on the live server. The issue is presentation and confusion. Is Necropolis the hardest content I have yet to do? But I need the Deathless. I already did the newest Karinas. How does it compare? I mean, it depends on which parts of the Karinas. I think if you did the epic paths, then I think in a lot of ways Necropolis is easier. You just have to plan it properly. I don't know. I really enjoyed Necropolis. I feel like we knocked it out of the park with that. Hey, Wicket. It's not even the bosses. Like I get where you're coming from with the bosses thing. Trust me, I really do. But like it was such a pain in the butt to build unique bosses every month. That's not the only reason, but it's the reason that I personally, as a designer, am not sad about it because that always felt like such a poor use of playtesting time. And if we didn't playtest them properly, then bad things happened, and I can point to some specific ones. Um, yeah. But just the point being, that's why I'm not super sad about that. But it's just the lanes are so simple. Like you can't do a full rotation with almost anyone. That's not for me. I'm not sure that Labyrinth actually is an older AI. But Realm of Legends specifically is just one of the quote easier AI profiles. And unfortunately, the way the game works right now is that easier AI profiles are usually defined by less aggression and more randomness in how long they take to do certain things, like charge heavies or whatever. And for those of us who are used to the more, like, weirdly enough, consistent, snappy randomness of the endgame AI, that feels more erratic. Yeah, I don't think you need to be intimidated by Necrojack. I think you just plan a path and, yeah, give it a go. The charge heavy always hits me for some reason because you're not used to it. Yeah, no, I get it. Hey, Jude. Why does endgame content like that have damage caps? Simple. Shrinking deltas. The point for that kind of content is like to push certain kinds of RPG and interactions and try and make you like understand the fights and play around them. And they're intentionally endurance content, right? They're supposed to take a certain amount of time. If you can blow through them by like doing the whole thing in 20 hits, then that directly counteracts the point of the content, right? And so those are just safeguards to make sure that they kind of take a minimum amount of time and a minimum amount of engagement so that you're supposed to actually pay attention to the fight. It's also bluntly because when a quest designer is building something like Necropolis, they're trying to balance it as well as they can around their targets. But they don't necessarily know if some jerk of a champion designer is going to build something like a Cosmic Ghost Rider in the future. And so it's generally a good idea to protect yourself from that. Yeah, that's pretty much what that means, asphyxia. Like, yes, Towers does have infinite floors, but it's never going to be really infinite, right? There's always going to be a max CR available in the game. And there's always going to be a tower more than, 50 or more CR above that. And so that's going to be the end. And we don't really need to build anything beyond that. But then when we release the next level of CR, then we need to build more floors. Honestly, Proxima's design was just not a good one for that reason. Like, people say they feel bad for her, but I honestly don't. Like, it's a shame there's nowhere that she can flex, but anywhere that Proxima could flex, CGR could flex a lot more efficiently. It's just not something we need. Oh, come on! Running into the heavy is my fault, but, like, that light attack was so fast. I hate when they do that. Sure, but it's not just CGR, right? It's important to have damage caps for a whole bunch of design reasons. It is not more important to have a character to have the biggest yellow numbers. Like, Rocket is not kneeling, he is merely very short. Nice. You know that's not what we're talking about, asphyxia. Hey, thank you for the raid, Anita. I appreciate you. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, and to your point, Jack, like I think that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. If we're going to invest the design time into something and what people want is something simple, then I think it makes more sense to invest that time into really building a proper training ground, right? Like probably even with better tech for like something beyond portals. Yeah. There has to be a way to do that. Because I do think there should be a better training ground in the game. Because Realm of Legends is just not it. Bienvenidos a todos. Appreciate y'all. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we'll ship CGR at some point, but he is certainly problematic. I'm doing okay. My wife just brought me the other half of a sour beer, so that helps. Taking a chill stream going through EQ. Okay, so this one is region and then we want prowess or daunted, right? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's just go big mutants. What is the sour beer? I'm actually not sure which one this one which one this is. Did she text me what it was? Yes, she did. Oh, okay, that's right. I remember. This is one I grabbed at Trader Joe's. It's called Mahalo. It's a sour ale with guava, pineapple, and hibiscus. And it is tasty. Thanks, Anita. Appreciate the raid. There's clearly lore amongst some of y'all that I don't know. But thank you for just teaching me a new word. I did not know, ludopatia. We've been playing Hit again. Oopsie Air is excellent. I like Darkhawk. Darkhawk, I think, needs a little bit of help. Because he's like, I know everybody says like, oh, just let him start with a mode, but I don't think that really does it. Because then you would just spam special 2, special 3, and it'd be super broken, right? Like I think there needs to be a little bit more agency.
There's a lot of really cool stuff in Darkhawk, though. I'm a longtime fan. He was my first 565 tech champion back in the days of 5 stars. So I'm a big fan, but I think he needs some modernizing. Yeah, Vincent's been in rare form lately. I don't know why I did that. That was very dumb. Nah, just let him throw it. Alright, I'm going to special 2 next time. Squirrel Girl is another one that I think is actually quite close, but needs something. It's a cool design, really doing some interesting early things with combo consumption. But has aged a little bit. I should have used the illusion again, but that's fine. Way overkill. Who's my favorite character in the game? I don't really do favorites. Apologies. But I don't know. That's not really how I've ever worked through things. I like a lot of different characters. And then now that I work on the game, it feels like asking me to pick a favorite kid. And even if I exempt the characters that I worked on, it's like, hey, which of your coworkers do you think did the best job? I don't really want to do that either. I just kind of, I don't know, go on vibes and pick whoever I'm playing with lately. Also, Darkhawk Lover, letting him get to null mode too easily. Exactly, yeah. I think something like that might work, Wicket. I mean, in fairness, Storm X had a pretty similar problem, right? She was a significant issue, and I'm pretty happy with what I ended up doing um, with her heavy charge. I think that was a good way to bridge it. There's probably something that can be done with Darkhawk along those lines. I do like Lumitrix a lot. I think another interesting aspect of Darkhawk that's maybe underappreciated, is just how incredibly strong his power control is. Like, everybody focuses on the damage mode, right? But that's not the dangerous part. The dangerous part is Darkhawk just has, like, one of the strongest suppressions in the game that's not exposed to ability accuracy or name type interactions. And then on top of that suppression, he also has a stupid powerful energize on himself that, again, is not named as an energize. That is a problem. Parental issues and commitment avoidance. Excellent. Clever. 1 moon's worth. What have you done to Heather? Ooh, that's not good. Oh, this stupid Fate Seal node is so evil. That's okay, I have Furies now. Oh, no, 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 Jonathan. We are not about to start giving Squirrel Girl abilities for her lore. And I'm putting lore in heavy quotes there. Oh, well, what's her lore? That she can just do anything everywhere all of the time? No, thank you. She's such a silly character. Oh, absolutely. I'm a big fan of the regen on Darkhawk. I think we'd want to keep that. Somehow that's twice that old Bo Burnham song has gone through my head in this week. Yeah, I think the thing about the regen is that that's kind of another microcosm of his problems because, like, offensively, the only way to really get the regen repeatedly is to be swapping between stealth and null constantly. If you're doing that, you are more than winning, right? You have one of the highest attack values in the game. You're doing instant shocks all over the place, which used to be instant shock debuffs, which was so dumb. Thank God they're passives now. and you have that huge power advantage. And that's silly, right? To have the regen basically be a win more was silly. I feel like one of the things Darkhawk needs in a future update is some kind of offensive way to opt into stealth mode in a way that actually gives him the regen, right? Like if you're playing Darkhawk and you're like, "Uh-oh, I need to go into repair mode." Like that should be a thing. Yeah, that's something I would love to have time for somewhere in the future. Really dig into a Darkhawk rework. Oh, this is a bad idea. If she parries me, I get armor broken. That's fine. Should we risk it for the biscuit? Are we going to crit? Thank you. I do like mode-based champions. And thank you. Honestly, I think my time playing Darkhawk as a player was pretty helpful to the project of building Absorbing Man. Thank you for the follow again. See, this is my problem with EQ. Because how big would that special 2 have been if we could really have seen it? Right, 1 second. Yes, I think that is true. Like, let's be real. We've talked about this before. Kate Bishop is overtuned. I know that. You know that. Blah, blah, blah. Moving on. One of the things I think I did right on Kate is that she doesn't have to always choose between damage and utility. She has to choose which one she gets first. I think that is a much healthier way to do it, right? Because I've played a lot of Mysterio in my time too, right? And I feel the same way. Like, you have to pick between one of the two, and it's really frustrating. And I think that was the way that some designers used to balance things. With it's like, well, you can have really broken utility, but you are going to hit like a wet noodle in a snowstorm, and I'm just not there for that. So I agree. I think both of them need something where honestly their damage and utility might need to be adjusted downward. We'll figure that out, but they need to have some way to do both in a realistic fight. I don't know Asphyxia because there's some weird things in old kits that may or may not have been called out, but he is one of them. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'll keep that in mind, Jack. Yeah, I need to really test the limits of Danny and Towers. Because you might be right, the special 2 is the way to go. But I kind of suspect that she might actually want special 1, special 2 if she can fit it in. Because the energy vulnerability is really nice. I find pride in this pain is so good. Thanks, Harisham. No, no, it does not, Jack. Thanks for the follow. Sentry's indestructible trigger on defense is so silly. Why? Why? On. Yeah, I don't get it. He's not a defender. It's kind of silly to leave it in. Nice. That's how you play Storm. Which I'll admit is a little bit of fear of mine. Like, I feel like I kind of solved the problem in Storm's kit. But is she too good? Oh, don't waste out my Sandstorm. Thank you. Jeez, you jerk. Stormax, Danny, Emma, Sunspot. What order would I rank them in for speed for towers? At exactly the same CR. I think Sunspot probably goes first, then Storm, then Danny, then Emma. But given the access to Ascension, I think you put Sunspot last. Because he's a short-term rank for that. There's also something to be said, depending on your roster breadth, for maybe prioritizing Danny because she's in the super duper box. And so for some kinds of summoners, she's a more reliable A2 than the others. But I say that as someone with an A2 Emma and only an A1 Danny for now. Yeah, agreed. Dust's kit has aged very well.
Who do we have to kill about it? Excellent.
Maybe. Havoc is a weird one. Not cool, Heather. All right. Yes, Moondragon is Drax's daughter. Yeah, Havoc is a really weird one. I guess you haven't heard me call her Heather Arishem. Because, like, Havoc is objectively powerful, and he cheeses a bunch of content. He has really high resistance, a relative or a relevant immunity. His damage is relatively flexible. He can kill with the big special 3 burst. He can kill with big special 2 crits. He can kill with purify punishment detonations. He can kill by abusing energy damage, and he can kill by like balancing his resources and landing heavies, right? Drax is not from space. Drax's real name is what? Arthur Douglas? Something like that. Um he's from like Arizona or something. The MCU changed his origin pretty dramatically. He can kill with kindness. But yeah, like so there's so much going on for Havoc that it's dangerous to help him too much. Glad to see you're still with us, Cat. But at the same time, I know exactly what you're talking about, Arishem, where it's like it does feel like Havoc, even if in a tuning perspective he might be okay, he feels lacking to play. Like he's not satisfying the way he used to be. It's a little bit too annoying to juggle things. It's too hard to make the heavy work, really. I honestly, you know what a comparison that I think sticks out to me would be is that like in a lot of ways, Havoc is kind of like if Spider Ham was missing a couple bullets in his kit to really tie the room together. That's how it feels to me. So like maybe the answer is a damage tune-up, but I don't really think it is. I think it's more likely that there's some Havoc probably just needs a couple lines to tie things together, and I think he would feel a lot better. No, that part makes or that part is true, Jack. He was aimed at Thanos. A collectible hologram, like a first appearance, maybe. Hi, Buckeye. How's it going? I know. I should have done the medium. I'm practicing. Doing some towers. Nice. I might do that later in the stream, but we'll see. There's not a lot further I can go. I'm not 100% sure what I would change. I think I would need to spend some time with it. But I think I would want some way... Some way to balance things outside of... What am I trying to think? Some way to balance his stuff outside of just the special one and the heavy, because it feels like that's all he can really do, and it's not quite enough, right? Like we were just talking about Dust and how well she's aged. One of the things that I think really makes Dust feel good is the way her power efficiencies pause during her lights in Sandstorm. Havoc needs something like that. Some little piece of maintenance you can actively do, excuse me, to make things feel like they're under your control. Correct. Glass towers do not reset. Yeah, I was too slow. Yeah, I feel you on incursions. I won't pretend that I'm fully enjoying the state of it right now, but I like roguelikes, and incursions has promise. I hope we one day get it to where it feels good. That might be too much, Arishem. That feels... He already has some, like, pretty strong cheese abilities. I feel like what you're describing might make it worse. Oh, I really thought I got the heavy, or the light in fast enough for that. That was annoying. Baja Blast particle effects is funny. I do really like the way his VFX turned out. Last minute EQer. I'm normally pretty good about it these days, but the 4th of July sale was just such an obvious, massive prestige boost that I was like, I'm gonna wait. Plus, it's so fast these days. Oh, I agree. Like, I don't miss doing normal, because that was boring and repetitive. I just wish the health pools were bigger so that I could actually go through a rotation with my characters. Should have done medium medium. That's okay. We're getting better. Don't kick myself. Learning. I have not gotten around to Blueprints yet. I own it. I have not played it yet. Yeah, I can understand that, Erisham. I mean, you'll notice I have now built a couple energy matchup champions. There is a reason Blue Marvel does auto ramp when taking energy damage, but only once per every half second. Was very, very intentional. I did play Elden Ring over the weekend, Cat. I'm stuck on this one catacomb. The boss fight that's just had my number, and I haven't been able to really sit down and figure it out yet. But I will. Nope, should have done medium. No, because then I would have gone to special 3. I know part of it is a skill issue, but I still find spot frustrating. Like, I really, really strongly feel like Portal Block should pause when the opponent is in a heavy animation. I did know that, Aeroshout. Because I remember when we added Future Ant-Man to the game, he was in like a single comic run, right? I think maybe we hoped he would be in more. Oomst. I made it up to the plateau. I did the long backwards climb or whatever. I've already forgotten their name, but like the weird Drake boss where you get like 2 buddies and I needed them. That was fun though. I've got the big sword. It's like one of the misbegottens and then like the perfumer Trisha, I think. I'll figure it out. I just don't have it yet. Personally, I don't enjoy Heimdall, so I wouldn't do it, Jess, but he is pretty objectively worth it. He's incredibly strong, and the awakening definitely helps. Hulk 2099? Haven't seen that one yet. Congrats, Jude. Yeah, poison builds can be fun. I was just doing one of those the other day. Corpse explosion. Oh, that was it. Yeah, I had a run the other day with the silent. You probably haven't unlocked it yet because I've only seen it a couple times. But there's a relic that when an opponent dies to poison damage, it moves that poison to another opponent. I got that relic from the very beginning, right? It was my starter bonus. And I was like, sweet, I'm doing a poison build. I got 1 corpse explosion in Act 1, which is an incredible card. If you haven't come across that yet, it applies 6 poison, and then when the opponent dies, it deals damage to their max health to everyone else. Incredible card. Very, very good. Yes, there are 20 ascensions. Don't bother with them for now unless you want to. Get yourself some more card and relic unlocks. But I found a single corpse explosion, and I don't think I found another poison card until Act 3. It was so annoying. And sometimes that just is how it be. Yes, corpse explosion is excellent. I just forgot exactly where it was in the unlocks. Nice. The one non-story highlight from my EQ run today was firing off a 2 million plus special 3 with core. That is really silly. I got to go back to Slay the Spire 1. I've been going hard on 2 since its release, but I never really played the Ascensions. I was the exact same. I had played all the characters. I'd never really gotten into the Ascensions. I enjoyed the game, but I never really conquered it. When Slay the Spire 2 came out, I played a little bit of Slay the Spire 1 on my PC, and then I bought the mobile version of it. And now I do just like a little bit in my downtime when I don't want to do other mobile games, and I've been working through that way. I'm up to A9 on Ironclad and Defect. I think A5 on Silent, and then I'm leaving Watcher for later because she's objectively overpowered. Yes, there's a mobile port and it's very good. I am sorry for spreading this contagion to you. Would I rate Future Ant-Man's power control as good and not too overtuned? It's definitely close to overtuned. Definitely on the line, right? Like you have active power drain both on his specials and on a timer that doesn't require a hit to land so it can't glance. And then you also have stacking combat power control. Like I think you have to work hard enough for it, and it's for the most part it's in the form of types that people could be immune to or resistant to. That like I think it's probably fine, but it's definitely close to the limits of what's okay. Okay, I'm looking up Hulk 2099. 1 second. Oh, I've seen this before. The lizard Hulk. Okay. I remember seeing this before. Yeah, I could see that at some point. Main character energy. Curious about Ironclad. Silent is working pretty well for me, and I can't seem to understand deck building or general playstyle for Ironclad. So Ironclad is an interesting one. He also varies a bit across the two games. But in general, it's important to remember that he heals after every fight. And take that into account, right? He has some interesting block builds, especially in the first game. You can just stack a bunch of block and throw it at the opponent, and that's kind of cool. But I think for you to really understand Ironclad, you do kind of have to dive into the deep end with the lose HP cards. That's kind of where things really start coming together. Like you don't have not every run has to be an HP loss run, but I think you will understand Ironclad better once you have done a few HP loss runs. Would Slay the Spire be good for someone who hasn't played that many deck builders or roguelikes? I've played and enjoyed Balatro and Inscription. Slay the Spire looks a bit more intimidating. I still think so, yes. If you want to try a middle ground, I don't know if you've played Magic the Gathering at all. I really like Monster Train. That's another good one. Monster Train 2 is out on PC. Monster Train 1 also has a mobile port. It's pretty good. Has a lot in common with Slay the Spire, but doesn't quite go as deep. Very different art style. I don't know. I don't want to compare them too much, but I adore Monster Train. It's really good. You could see if that vibe grabs you a bit more, because Slay the Spire is kind of more understated. But I think it's worth giving a shot because I think if you like any other deck builders, then Slay the Spire is probably one of those where you might bounce off it now. It might not grab you, but it probably will later. So it's not likely to be a wasted purchase. See, this is what bothers me about Spot. Like, I really think he needs to reduce the opponent's heavy chance below, like, 4 spots or something. It's like $6. Yeah, that'll do it. What is the other thing? There's another game I absolutely adore that's very cheap right now. Hold on, I'm restarting my Steam because for some reason I need to full end task my Steam periodically so I can see it. It just freaks out when it's minimized. Exactly that, Arishem. Exactly that. Planet Zoo is $2. Okay, if you have ever enjoyed any kind of Zoo Tycoon, you should go buy Planet Zoo. This $2 is an insane deal for that game. That's so good. I have somebody I'm going to annoy about that later. Yep, okay, that's the one I was thinking of. For anyone who has ever enjoyed a game like Diablo, like any of those isometric action RPGs, go check out Grim Dawn. It's $2.49 on Steam right now. Even if you bought all of its expansions, it would still be less than $15. Or no, I'm sorry, it would be $15.50. And another expansion is coming out on my birthday next month. It is my personal favorite out of any ARPG I have ever played. It's kind of like you can tell from the grim name. It's kind of grim punk, somewhere between grim dark and steampunk. And the character development or the character building stuff, the RPG mechanics are really, really good. I might even stream some of it next month. It's so good. Do I think you'll like Planet Zoo? I don't know. It's not really a roguelike. It's more Planet Zoo is a game that I play when I just kind of want to relax. Like though any of those tycoon style games are basically just city builders, but they're city builders with cool animals and animal facts, and I love that stuff. I actually have played Planet Zoo on stream a little bit, but normally at like 4 a.m. during my charity streams. Because it is one of my neurodivergent comfort games at like 3 in the morning when I'm pulling an all-nighter. That's fair enough, Jonathan. Yeah, Steam sales are dangerous. I totally get that. So, Planet Zoo is, in my opinion, like the most direct heir to Zoo Tycoon these days. Which means that it's a zoo builder, right? You unlock animals, you put them in exhibits, you do research to get better enrichment items for them, better food for them. As you improve your zoo and get your score up, you get access to more and more endangered animals. Those bring in more guests, you get more money, etc., etc. You can like breed the endangered animals and then release them, and then the game makes you feel good about the fact that you helped the population of endangered animals, even though it's a game. You learn animal facts. I know so many random animal facts from playing Zoo Tycoon as a kid. Again, I know I'm neurodivergent. But yeah, I love Planet Zoo. I forgot how annoying she is without a tech champion. Completely was not ready for how obnoxious this was. Yeah, it's a great game. It's not for everyone, but if you're even remotely interested in that kind of game, it is an incredibly good game for $2. Now, warning, it does have a lot of DLC. Pace yourself. Maybe don't get that yet. Hey, Juan. Welcome. Welcome, Jimmy. Mope joke instead of mojo is funny. Yeah, for sure, Wicket. I should have done that if I had remembered she had a kit in general on defense. I don't think Grim Dawn is multiplayer. It's actually, maybe I've just never done this. It says online co-op. No, it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just haven't done this. I was gonna like pressure my brother into playing with me way back when, but I don't think I ever did. The top review on the store is this game has no drawback except that I feel like a criminal buying the complete edition for $50. Yeah, okay. There is some kind of co-op for it. So I would definitely recommend it for that. I was just talking about Plague Inc. with somebody the other day because I've never played it. And it's $1.49 right now. Oh, I'm going to be spending money on Steam later. All right. When something says the potency of a damaging effect is reduced, does it affect the secondary effects like CPR and disintegration? No, it would just be the actual damage. But that's a good question. Yeah, Jonathan, you must not have been catching any of my tower streams for that stuff the other day. It's it's dramatic. I very much appreciate that we have the multi-select for selectors now. The next thing I want is the ability to bulk claim milestones so that it actually collapses the selectors into a multi-select. Because bluntly, who gives a crud if multi-select is a thing if you're just claiming one selector at a time 10 times? It's so frustrating. Also, why is this a single row that side scrolls instead of like 2 or 3 rows? We really could be doing that better. And another thing. No, hmm, I guess some multi-selectors are still struggling. Okay, so yes, Vox's designer did go extra hard on the edgy thing, but also there is a specific lore reason why he takes extra damage for hammers. That one wasn't that. I'm sure there'll be another kind of Everest, yeah. If you look back through the history of MCOC, at least for the last 5 or 6 years, you'll see that there's kind of been an alternation between Necropolis style long form Everest, also high, um, and more seasonal rotating Everest, right? Like we got what am I thinking? Like we got the Summer of Pain stuff, then we got Necropolis. Then we got the rotating Eternity of Pain, and then we got the Eternity of Pain capstone. Then we got some Karina's challenges. I'm forgetting something else, but like, long story short, there has been a rough alternation, and so that kind of implies that the next time we try to do something like that, it'll probably be something long form like that. Now, whether that comes with a mythic title, I have no idea. I don't know how the rest of the team feels about those or the anti-cheat stuff around it. Yeah, I don't know the actual reason, but I think it probably has something to do with Fox getting their butt kicked by one of the Thors at some point. I've been pulling so many 7-star warlocks ahead of getting his ascension materials. Wait, where am I on the boss? Okay, 4 more. Follow-up question. How many 7-star shards do I have right now? Enough. All right, who do we think is going to be my third A2 out of the super duper box? Ooh, skill leveled up. Nice. Lore for Vox, but not for Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl can have a synergy that nods to Thanos but doesn't really do anything, tell you what. All right, I have 2 at 20 now. That's nice. Third A2. Yeah, during the sale, I was originally planning on streaming it or something, but I don't know. I got impatient. During the sale, I realized that I was finally in range from all the greater empowered crystals I got. And so I opened 2.5 million 7-star shards. And here we are. All right, let's see. At this point, because of towers, I'm happy with literally any of them, including that one. Before the launch of towers, that would have annoyed me so much. But now he helps. And he will 100% go to rank 3 when the Mystic Tower comes out and I end up getting a bunch of Cosmic Tier 6 Catalysts. I am not bothering yet. Take care, Wicked. I'm about to be done as well. Class 7 stars. Why are we at it? Why not 1, 2, and 7 star champion acceleration class? That's complicated and a little bit outside my pay grade. I don't fully agree, especially for 1 and 2 stars, because bluntly, those are a good opportunity for us to make collectibles matter. If we made it easy to get all characters at 1 and 2 star, then they wouldn't have any value, right? Because it's not like they do anything in gameplay. I think I'm coming around to feeling the same way, Zarafa. Because I did pick up Sigil Witch once, as you can tell. And I guess I can get another one now. But yeah, obviously I got the Greater Empowered Crystal. That was a no-brainer. That is a correct move. But I also bought 20 of these, I think at least twice. Which tells me I could be here. I could have an A2 Witch, and that would be nice. Someday. I just realized if I hold on to these Warlock crystals for a month, and then I open them and I get Warlock, will he be first appearance? No, you get if you have the sigil, Jude, you just get some every week and every month by playing. I know you can use the Phalanx to get Grace. I don't want to. Because that's the thing. If I pulled Warlock, it would reset my Grace timer. And if I reset my Grace timer less than a month before my next champion comes out, I'm going to be sad. But what I don't know is if I then sit on these from the first availability of them, and then I get lucky on like July 30th, does that still give me first appearance? And I don't know. I feel like it should. The perfectly timed dodge and block code for Shang-Chi is pretty much what it says it is. It's very similar to how Dex and parry works, but the window is smaller. So you just have to be more precise. Oh, that's right. We got some of these. Cool. There's so many of those 1 to 2 gems from Twitch. I feel like I'm probably just going to end up with them sitting in my inventory, waiting for new characters to release at some point, which probably not the way that should end up happening, but say la vie. Okay, we got another Nexus relic, or Nelic Rexus, Relic Nexus. Jesus. Words are fake. These all seem decent. I'm gonna grab the Moondragon one. The box opening should guarantee an Ascended Champion. I mean, that's what it does, Buckeye. I'm not sure I follow you. That's the exclusive purpose of the Super Duper box. Oh, are you saying that you should be able to pick who you get out of it? Because then I don't agree. Just because something takes effort to get doesn't mean it should be a selector. This is a tough lesson of Marvel Contest of Champions. Wild sentence out of context, Jack. In general, you can try and go later Arishem, but like it's a tight enough window, it's risky. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Exactly, Zarafa. It's so nice in that sense. Okay. I'm not quite tired yet, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time ranking. Go your masters. Oh, masteries? I'm sure that's what that was supposed to be. This is what I currently run. Standard. This is my towers masteries, if that's what you're asking about. but I'm going to spend some time on collectives. Am I actually this low on tier 2 alpha? What the heck happened? My logic for 1 to 2 stars is that I think Kabam as a whole moved on. Yeah, but that's the thing. You're saying that you want them to be available because you still see value in them, right? Kabam is a business. Just because the game has moved past 1 and 2 stars and they don't have value for actually progressing doesn't mean they don't have value. And it would arguably be a mistake for us to ignore that value and make it trivially easy for people to get them, if that makes sense. Make masteries easier to understand. I don't fully follow that. Like, when you're first starting out, I get it, but what part of masteries is throwing you these days? That's really cool, Zarafa. And very lucky. Yes, it is ranking up captains. The screen I'm using, which I'll go back to in a minute, is pretty helpful for exactly that understanding. Yeah, so we just ranked up Iron Patriot. If we look here, he's our captain. We have the other members. That's fine. They don't contribute any collective points, right? But if we look at points contribution, we see this is as high as it goes. There's nothing else we can do to get points out of Iron Patriot until he releases as a 7-star. And so we know 830 is the max for a 6-star. If we click on Ghost, then we can see like, hey, this is the highest possible rarity for Ghost. That's the check mark. But she's only at rank 3. And it's telling you that I could get 74 or I could get 70 points more for taking her to rank 4. And so what I'm doing right now to try and level this up is just finding my rank 1s and going through this. But as I'm doing this, I'm realizing I probably do need to go to the Mysterium store and buy a bunch of these. Does that make sense, Arishem? Because that's how it works for 6 stars. If we then look at 7 stars, like, okay, good for me, Civil Warrior, 7-star, that's as high as he goes. I could get more points for taking him all the way up to rank 6 if I wanted to. I don't. I get points for his ability or for his SIG ability, and if somebody is ascendable, then on top of those things, we also get points for their ascension. But only 7 stars get points for ascension. Only 7 stars get points for SIG abilities. Does that make sense? Hey, Lexi. Who to rank for first? Kushala, Madeline, Pavita, or Kindred? Kindred out of all of those is the most pure for defense. So if you're looking for an attacker, I would probably put him last. or them last, excuse me. As for the other three, it really depends on who you enjoy the most, right? All three of them are very strong. Fun fact, I designed Kushala and Paviter. But I'm not going to let that bias get in the way. Maddie is very good. I really think it comes down to like who you enjoy. All three of them are pretty flexible, can take a whole bunch of different matchups. They all have good damage. Yeah, any of them. Un poco como Leo. Puedo leer. Uh, what is it? Podría hablar mejor. See? Case in point. But if you have a question, I can at least follow it typed in Spanish and try to answer it. Is Elder out for the raids quest chests? I actually don't know. I do know what the content in them is, but that I can't speak to. Yeah, I'm fine reading in Spanish, Lita. When someone looks at my masteries, they always say they suck. When I try to reset them, I make it worse. So for that, at least, I will point you towards. I have. Let me find it real quick. I'm not just gonna tell you to look for it because it's like 3 years old at this point. But honestly, totally fine. I made the mistake of opening YouTube and seeing people whine. Okay. View my channel. No, that's not the one. Where's my mastery guide? I know it exists. It's actually kind of hard to find. Oh, it's probably in this playlist. Yes. Okay. Duh. If you want to check that out, that is a breakdown of masteries. Hey, Carl, how's it going, dude? ¿Cómo logro conseguir amigos? That's an eternal question, isn't it? How long am I streaming for? Not much longer. It's kind of late for me. OG Black Panther or Civil War, because I think OG Thor are running. Oh, yeah. I mean, this the game used to be a lot simpler. That's kind of what I've been. No, I'm not really a GTA guy. I will probably play Wolverine at some point, but GTA doesn't hold a ton of interest for me. Conozco muy poco de cómo avanzar en el juego y lograr mejores batallas y personajes. There are a fair number of people online, like the Line app. I don't know how I would start looking for those rooms though. Hmm. You could ask in global for a Spanish language line room. Do you watch Pepe streams at all, Kamaleo? ¿Entiendes inglés? I should also ask. Honestly, I'm pretty bad with email, Buckeye. I check it sometimes, but good man, but spent too much on this sale. As long as you can afford it, that doesn't sound too bad. Archangel is already fixed. Let me show you all right now. Like, yes, we messed up an improvement to him. Oh, yeah, it's because I did this duel earlier. This exact same reason. But he's fine. No failing parries. No problem. Okay, that one is me pressing the special button too soon. But you get the point, right? Parries are protected. It's almost like if something goes wrong over the weekend, it might take us until Monday to fix it. And that fact does not mean that we're being negligent or mean. Maybe. It's funny, Jonathan. What relic do I have on Danny? 6-star Gambit. She definitely does need that. ¿Puedes responder mis preguntas anteriores? I thought I did. I don't use WhatsApp. And the line rooms I know are in England. But the reason I asked about Pepe is because I think he's the biggest Spanish language streamer. Or no, it would be him or El Tío Kurt if he's still streaming. I don't know if he does. Um, but if you asked in their chats, there would probably be other people who do know Spanish language line rooms, and they'd be able to hook you up. As far as just getting better at the game, if you understand English, then MCOC Noob has some good early videos. There's some decent stuff on the MCOC website under the Academy section. There's an article on masteries that I wrote there, if you want to look at that. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is short of playing the game, hanging out in streams like this one and asking specific questions is the way to go, right? Like, why does this character work for this? I'm having trouble with this particular fight because, like, the regen is a problem, right? The auto block is a problem. How do I solve it? Those are the kinds of things that I think help you move forward. Archangel used to be my favorite champ from day one. Couldn't get a 5-star version, so I used a 4. Yep, I did a lot of Act 6 with a 5-star Archangel. I understand. Yeah, so it's not just parries protected. So this is a deep topic. There are a lot of different implementations of immunity or resistance to ability accuracy reduction in the game, right? Some characters have specific abilities that are protected, like Adam Warlock's Sovereign buff can't have its ability accuracy messed with, right? Um, Sandman's resistance up passives can't have their ability accuracy messed with. If we go down further, like there are some old characters, and Archangel used to be one of these. Mephisto or Mordo are two others that are immune to specific effects that mess with ability accuracy. But that's not the same thing as protecting all of their abilities. Then you have newer characters like Shuri or Zola, where those abilities apply to them, right? You can apply a neutralize or a concussion to Zola, but it doesn't do anything to him. He can still use all of his abilities because all of his abilities are protected from ability accuracy modification. Archangel used to work in the way that, like, his ability, or he was just immune to a lot of these things, but not all of them. And that was a famous problem because back in Archangel's heyday, there were a lot of nodes that applied disorient, and those could still cause his parries to fail, right? Because they reduced defensive ability accuracy reduction. When we released him, we decided to finally close that loop and update him to be more like Zola. So that is a change, right? And honestly, this was supposed to be in the patch notes. It just got missed. We apologize for that, but it was not on purpose, no matter what some idiot tells you. But the intended change was to make him more like Shuri and Zola, and so make it so that those disorients, concussions, neutralizes, tranquilizes applied to him, but didn't do anything. So, like, the effects could sit on him, but all of his stuff would still trigger. And you saw that with Red Skull, because, like, there were no immunity callouts, right? Old Archangel fighting Red Skull, there would be immunity callouts every time that Red Skull, like, tried to reduce his ability accuracy reduction. New Archangel, it applies to him, but the abilities get through anyway. The problem was when we did this, the designer working on it protected Archangel's abilities and bluntly just had a brain fart and forgot to protect the masteries, which are obviously important, right? So what we did today was we went through and we added the masteries. We added parry, we added dexterity. We also added every other mastery that can fail. Archangel's Resonate is now protected against ability accuracy modification. The instant bleeds in deep wounds are protected. Some of y'all won't like this next part. The unstoppable buff in unfazed is protected. So if you're fighting Archangel with somebody who can evade and has slow, note that they will still go unstoppable. Just fair warning. But, like, that was what the intent was, right? To bring him to a more modern implementation of that ability. Now, I will note this does mean that not everything ever is protected, because that we weren't willing to fully do. an incursions hack applied to Archangel could still fail due to ability accuracy reduction. Personally, I think that's fine. I think it's more than worth the trade. But now it means that if he fights somebody who's spamming disorients on him, he can parry safely where he used to not be able to. So the real impact here is that he's stronger than he used to be. Is it possible to punch up 40 CR in towers? Yes, but it is very difficult. There are not a lot of characters that can do it. Hey, Mizzle, welcome. Yeah, the line in his old kit that said cannot be reduced by the opponent's ability specifically was itself a response. Was itself a response to the old controversy around Disorient because the team didn't want to commit to the upkeep, frankly, of making him immune to every new named type that had some kind of ability accuracy component. Like, technically, I don't think Archangel was protected against Infuriate back then. I forget exactly how that worked. I can't remember if he was subject to Hercules' Infuriate or not, but he's not now. um, but like the team didn't want to sign up for that upkeep. And so that line was kind of the attempt to draw that. It didn't really work in a lot of ways, but the new ability is a lot more future proof, right? He doesn't have to be immune to every new ability accuracy affecting type that comes out, which is a lot of annoying upkeep on him and a bunch of others. Instead, it just says, okay, the original design intent was that you couldn't mess with his ability accuracy. Now that's how he works. It doesn't necessarily protect everything forever, right? Like if you put him on a node, the node's effects won't be protected. But his abilities and masteries will be. From a non-developer perspective, would I put Falcon on the list of champions eligible to Ascension without a buffer or rework? Yeah, he'd be on there. He's a tough one because he's objectively very powerful. His ability accuracy reduction is insane. Um, but he's also like not the most exciting. Not everybody likes him, so he's in kind of a weird spot. But I do think he is a fair shout. Yes. Okay, what am I missing for this one? Ah, I ran out of tech catalysts. Please bring the rest of the M Rock champions in MCOC. I'm in favor of that. Yeah, I think they're cool. I think I just answered your question on Archangel, but let me know if you have any other misunderstandings. That's funny, Carl. Does offensive and defensive ability accuracy reduction specifically happen on the frame of the hit event? Yes. When something refers to offensive ability accuracy, it means that that is affecting the character's general ability accuracy, the ability accuracy of all of their abilities, um, as they are landing their attacks, right? Defensive ability accuracy is as the opponent is landing attacks. Not quite Arishem, because activating a special is not when landing an attack. So generally things that happen on special activation are not covered under ability accuracy. Or not covered under offensive ability accuracy. However, if something happens on the first hit of a special, then that would be. Hey, clubs. I don't know, Saiyan Ranger. I think Solvark at least is. I don't know if Imperiosa is yet, but I am not an authority on that kind of thing. Okay, that's getting into real resources. I don't think we want to do anything more there. Yeah, my tech collective is struggling a little bit. Yeah, if I didn't have any of them, I would take Torch. I agree. Like Red Guardian, She-Hulk, Nick, they're all really strong in various ways, but Torch is pretty unique. He's not just a nuke, but he's a very specific kind of nuke. Okay. I think that's enough collective ranks for now. I'm gonna go do something, or I'm gonna go to bed. But thank you everybody for hanging out. I will talk to you soon. Take care, all. Well, sorry, I'm gonna close down the YouTube stream. I am gonna raid somebody on Twitch. That's always how that goes. But thank you, YouTube peeps. Talk to you soon.